Okay. Da, 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 da. I think that should be everything more or less set up. Okay, let's get this live chat going, and then I should be good to go. All messages. What is up, poor Burley? Oh, for some reason, I'm not getting... Okay, there we are. Now we're good to go. So, not quite sure what we're going to be doing today, because I took a brief gander at the MO, and, honestly, not too excited yet, because the TCS is not back. And that's really what I want to cover. I don't really care about these, random squid and bot MOs. But we'll find something to do. What is up, Bishop? Okay, so it seems like there's a bunch of attacks going on at the same time that are not on MO planets. So, I'm just gonna go and decide which planet is the most fun to play on. And not worry about the MO too much. Maybe we'll pay the MO tax and do a couple missions. We are not getting anything. The MO is cooked. Isn't it... We need 2 out of 3 MOs, 1 per campaign. So if we lose this one, it should be fine as long as we win the next one, if I remember correctly. But, I mean, I don't know. That's the cost of having MOs actually matter. They also have to be, like, losable and matter when we lose, but... I don't know if this one is rigged or not. I've not been plugged in at all to that. Errata took Eagle Storm. Errata can keep Eagle Storm. Eagle Storm can go straight to hell, as far as I'm concerned. One of the worst things in this game still today. At least you can avoid it, but it's one of just like the most like troll bad design things in the game. Okay, well Sangus is fucked, it seems, more or less, but it does have the appropriators, so I kind of do want to play on it. Because I do like the appropriators quite a bit. Then we have Mox, which is a lava planet. I would like these if they weren't hot and you didn't run out of stamina in 2 seconds. And Misa, which has the cyborgs and communication relay, which doesn't mean anything to me. That's just blurred. Oh, but it's on the one of the new biomes. Yeah, we could check this one out as well. Let's start with a nice little relaxing board game. I think that might be... That might be good. And by relaxing, I mean avoid the flag missions, but it seems like that's all we have today. Okay, we only have dogshit missions. Awesome. I guess this is the defense pool. It's usually these 3 missions, so, yeah, we could try a cyborg flag mission. Let's see how that goes. I'm gonna regret this, but... I want the campaign to succeed. I'm sure they will, even if we fail this particular MO, I'm sure they'll still bring back the TCS in terms of content. We might just not get that that Marksman Coyote rifle, which would kind of suck, but at the same time, it's like, again, if you want the MOs to matter, the losses also kind of have to matter, otherwise there's not much point to it, so that's just unfortunate reality. Oh wait! Holy shit, we got Light 2 and we actually get a not terrible mission. We don't have to do a cyborg flag mission. I'm okay with that. Okay, I don't remember what the fuck I was doing with this build last time. This was definitely a bug build. This is the only faction that the hull is good on. So if it's cyborgs, I'm gonna want either plasma or the sensor. Pistol is good. Let's try that supply pack FRV build again, because that one was cool, but the default bot faction is too much ragdoll for that to really be all that fun. So with this cyborg faction, I think we should be a bit better. Okay, I'm gonna want Eagle Airstrike, and since I have C4, I don't really need to worry about Vox engines that much, so I'm probably not gonna take Rail Cannon. I think probably 120 is gonna serve me best. No, let's get a Thermite. I love the Dynamite, but Dynamite and C4 have a pretty big overlap, so Thermite's gonna help us out if you run into War Striders or a lot of Vox engines. So it should be good. Let me know if the sound levels are good, by the way, because it's kind of hard to tell from my perspective if the game's too loud or if I'm too loud. Would you open up a queue play with a couple of viewers? Yeah, maybe later. Let's see how I feel. It's not off the table, though. Did they announce how people who didn't participate in the FRV campaign can get the FRV yet? No, they have not. Oh, I should be recording. They have not announced if when/if the FRV is ever coming back, which I think was probably a big mistake. If you're gonna... You can't trust Arrowhead's later, you know, because that later could mean a lot of different things. Unfortunately, so... Hopefully it's within the next couple weeks, but I still don't really know why they even bothered with this whole, oh, you have to log in during the MO to get the reward. Because it's like, if you had to play a mission that was actually part of the MO, I would get it. But you don't even need to play any mission, much less an MO mission. You just get it for free if you log on at all. So it kind of just, it doesn't get people to engage with the Galactic War. It just does nothing. Unfortunately. Supply pack FRV single-handedly carrying Super. It is rather good. Okay, very glad I bought Thermites. Because if it's going to be a War Strider Seed, especially if I miss my Thermites, that's going to help. And Compromised Automaton Defenses is actually really good for us. Because one of the scariest things for the FRV is going to be cannon turrets and bunker turrets. Beautiful ragdoll on a sun explosion. Many such cases on the bottom line, unfortunately. Alright, and we're gonna be in a kind of a rough spot right now, so let's not sit right here and have some fucking Devastators land right on top of that. I'd rather move the FRV somewhere slightly safer. It should be out of range here. Okay, how was my headshot potential on these guys? Not perfect, but I did survive that, so that's good enough in my book. What is up, AI-generated cat girl? Many such cases these days. What the? Oh, there's a FRV or a hell bomb behind our FRV. Maybe I'll turn this one into a video. I wanted to... Jesus Christ, that guy's fucking Neo. I wanted to do this build on a Mega City, but it seems like none of the MO stuff have Mega Cities or bot Mega Cities available. But the Cyborgs are a little bit less ragdoll happy than the normal bots I found, just because I feel like less Rocket Devastators spawn and Rocket Striders don't spawn at all. So this build might be a more fun to play without being ragdolled constantly because you don't have the shield tag. And no, Rock Solid would not help with that. Rock Solid is garbage. Rock Solid is like kind of useful with the directional shield, but the directional shield is garbage. So if you're using two garbage things together, that is not, it's a fun build, it's just not a good one, unfortunately. Thank you, Pistol. I keep forgetting this thing exists, which is a big mistake, because it's really good. Probably the coolest thing to come out of the whole Exo Warbond, but that's about when I should stop playing Helldivers 2. So I have not, you know, transcribed this thing to muscle memory quite yet. Will Hyena make the other marksman rifles obsolete? I kinda doubt it. The other marksman rifles are already pretty good. Like the Sensor and the Diligence are very solid weapons on the bot front. So adding a fire dot won't really make that big of a difference, I don't think. It depends what the downsides are going to be to balance them out, of course. But overall, I really doubt the... okay, are you just going to be clipping up and down and not letting me shoot you in the head? There we go. I really doubt it's going to make the other weapons obsolete. Because it's not like the same situation with assault rifles, where assault rifles are just kind of bad. So it's very easy to power creep them. Like, no. Being able to one-tap a Devastator's head and apply fire is kind of redundant, you know? Like, it's already dead after you one-tap it, and it does enough damage to do that from the leaks I've seen. So I think it's not going to power creep anything. Maybe it'll power creep marksman rifles on the other fronts. It could be really good on the squid front. But that's not a niche they were particularly good in anyway. They were really just bot weapons, so... I wouldn't call that power creep either. It's just a marksman rifle that does different things. But we'll have to see. Excited for the new War Bond. I have not seen too many of the leaks for the new War Bond. I thought they hadn't, like, cobbled one together yet, because, obviously the supply FRV and the emulator FRV were gonna go to the War Bond that was canceled until they realized, oh fuck, we can't, like, keep doing this. Maybe the whiners were right. Spamming War Bonds nonstop isn't gonna work out for us. So I don't think they've, like, put another War Bond together yet. Maybe they have, I don't know. I really have not been plugged into Helldivers 2, like, at all, recently. Because I was big on the Darktide train, but I think the Darktide Skitarii hype is dying out a little bit, unfortunately. So, we'll see. Maybe I'll still make more videos on Darktide, because I do enjoy it quite a lot. I like Darktide quite a bit. It's just, are the videos a good time investment for me? And we shall see. I'll definitely keep playing it, though. I definitely really do want to learn Hype Scum as well, because I did buy that class when it was on sale. And it seems like a lot of fun. Invisible Ragdoll, lead into... No, I lost that. That's where I was going. But, I don't know. If I see more leaks, I'll have a more... concrete opinion about whatever the new War Bond may be. I'll check it out, whatever happens, because I feel like it'll be good to just check out new stuff whenever it comes to Helldivers 2, just for the channel, because I think people still are more or less interested in Helldivers 2, or at least watching Helldivers 2 content, even if they don't particularly want to play it. Okay, please fucking C4 sometimes, man. How much work would it be to just have a little, like, pop-up in the middle of the screen that tells you when you've switched modes? Surely it cannot be that much of a big ask, you know? Yeah, he's too far. But when the Devastators are, like, cracked up like that, it is very difficult to hit them. Because they just move around, like, so erratically. Yeah, you gotta die right now. Especially when they're acting all confused, and the fact that their eye effect is, like, spaced a solid, like, foot away from their head. Where the fuck is this agitator that's buffing up every bot in existence? I think he is hiding behind this wall, but I'm more scared than you. Right now. Yeah, I just can't get my hands on him. What the Now I got my hands on him. But the jammer is disabled. Ugh, it doesn't look like they're going to adjust balance once the gun releases. Probably not, but I feel like there have been leaks in the past where we really thought something was going to be a certain way, and then they changed it like last minute. So don't, like, trust leaks 100%. Not that they lie, it's just that, you know, changes do happen last minute sometimes. This was a rather annoying strategy. Oh, and he's head glitching me. Man. You Devastator rockets. Like, you remove rocket Devastators from the game. I think it's an improvement, unfortunately. We're back to rocket Devastator just being absolutely awful enemy to engage with from launch. Okay. At least this jammer's fine done, and as am I. Pretty sure they wanted to make the Hyena a superstore weapon. I also did see that that leak. It's just like, it's proof that the whining, quote unquote, and like the negative reviews, like that's what works. Unfortunately, like I can make a trillion like feedback videos with like constructive criticism, and every other content creator can do that as well. And Arrowhead will just ignore them. Like, they really do only listen to catastrophes and negative reviews and players leaving. Like, that's the only thing that motivates them to do anything, unfortunately. Oh, did I drop? Is the stream cooked right now, or is my phone cooked? Okay, that guy's moving in strange manners. Is the stream cooked? Hold on. No, my phone is just cooked. Okay. Don't know if somebody asked you this before, but you're gonna try Warframe one day. To me, it's live service done right. People keep telling me to try Warframe, but it seems really, really grindy. I feel like I would need to invest, like, a lot of time before I could make half-decent content off of it. And it also doesn't really seem like my type of game that much. It seems a little bit too stat-driven and not skill expression-driven. But maybe I'm wrong. I should still just try it because, you know, it's free, but unfortunately time isn't free. And I only have so much time to dedicate to making videos. Because I also like playing games, you know, for myself. I don't just play horde shooters. And then, of course, you know, there's everything else. Everything else, you know, adults have to do. Okay. Box engine, no big deal. We have support. Still the go attempt. Okay, another boss drop. Yippee. Stream was being weird. Yeah, my internet like crashed today. I've been having internet issues like throughout the day, so if the stream drops, please let me know. But it just seems like the stream froze up on my phone, which is where I'm reading chat. But otherwise, it seems to be doing okay. Okay. Supply FRV is fun, but when you're solo, it's a really big ask to dedicate a whole stratagem slot for that. It is really good, but I don't think it's even close to overpowered. It's just, it does such a useful thing for you, which is give you more supplies. But I don't think it like comes even close to the supply pack, for how convenient the supply pack is. It just lets you use backpack weapons, and as we all know, a lot of backpack weapons are not very good, unfortunately. But it does synergize with things like the recoilless and the C4 really, really well, thankfully. Nope, that was way too close. I hate fucking War Strider seeds, not just because of the War Striders, but also because they spam so many Berserkers. And killing Berserkers with precision weapons is really annoying, because they just move around way too much. Okay, actually using smoke intelligently. Good job. Radical. I swear to God, agitators and radicals are smarter than a lot of Helldivers. Very well designed enemy. I still don't get why they made these blue. Like, these used to be yellow, didn't they? But now they're blue. Unless they just developed, like, some kind of color blindness. They're jamming the stream again. God damn it. Is it really not working? See, I alt-tab it on, like, my monitor. It's working fine. It's just, on my phone. So it might be cutting in and out. C4 is Pog. Yeah, it is the best support weapon they've added in a long, long time, I think. I'm trying to think of all the other ones. I guess the Cremator is really good as well. No, is the C4 or the Cremator better? Probably the Cremator, because the Cremator doesn't really have any jank to it, and the C4 has a lot of jank. But the C4 is so good at the same time. They're both really powerful. She hate when enemies do not follow normal pathing and just clip into mountains in 0.1 seconds. Yes, I know. It's one of my big... That's like why I play the bugs exclusively on Mega Cities these days. Is because it feels like the only place where they actually respect the terrain. Like, they can't just clip through buildings and up hills. They actually have to, you know, play the same game I do and care about, like, surfaces and walls and not just bullshit hack their way through everything. It really is, like, one of my biggest pet peeves when a bot, like Berserker or Squid, Staff Overseer, any unit, really, that can kill you pretty quickly in melee, just teleports off a sheer cliff to kill you, and that sheer cliff would have stopped you dead in your tracks. So it's very frustrating when that happens. Supply car needs you to be good with cars in general to be better than the supply pack. Yeah, but the supply pack is one stratagem. Okay. The supply pack is always on your back, right? That's where it lives. It's a backpack. So there's no way the supply pack can go wrong unless you die and the mission starts spinning out of control and you can't retrieve it. In which case you have a lot of problems. But the supply FRV is not something that is with you all the time. You have to, like, park it and leave it somewhere that's kind of safe. Which is, like, what makes it debatably not as good, if you ask me. It's just less convenient, even if you are a good driver. But being a bad driver certainly does make it quite a lot worse, and I am not the greatest driver in this game. I finally, like, accept that, okay, fine, I have to stay on, like, second gear if I want to actually not flip the car every 2 seconds, even though it hurts my soul because I want to go fast. But, you know, why design a game to be fun when you can design a game to not be fun, right? why let us go fast in the FRV when you could force us to go slow if you want to actually get any, like, use out of it? Oh yeah, I forgot about the insta-kill plans. Really cool. Love those. Only survived that because I'm in extra padding, by the way. That would have killed me instantly otherwise. So, I don't know. I think the supply FRV is really good in teams. I do think it is not nearly as powerful solo as people claim it out to be. It is 100% a support stratagem. Because only one person bringing a supply FRV is just a 1 out of 16 stratagems, and it gets a lot of value there. But when you're bringing it solo, that's 25% of your total stratagems for something that you can't always use and that does no damage and doesn't, like, contribute to killing enemies and completing objectives. Oh, it does contribute to killing objectives sometimes, just by helping you get around faster, but I don't know. I still think it's, like, S tier. Like, this is not me throwing shade at the supply FRV at all. It is, like, absolutely S tier, even solo. Stealth nerf it by making it take aggro when they're alone. I would not be surprised. That really does seem like something they're gonna do. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the last patch was really good, and at the same time as I think it's totally reasonable to expect Arrowhead to not maintain that level of quality and, you know, good decision making. At the same time, I don't want to definitively say they're gonna go back on their bullshit, like, immediately, you know? Like, maybe giving them the benefit of the doubt is stupid at this point. I mean, it definitely is, but I also don't want to, like, be a defeatist before we even see, like, okay, let's see what the next patch holds out. If it's bad, then we know, like, 100%. Like, the studio is, like, beyond redemption. But, you know, at some point, I think they're either going to have to learn that they can't be doing heavy pen high card shit anymore, or the game will just die. And I think Arrowhead loves money more than they love getting glazed by Redditors or the Discord or whoever the fuck is praises their current fantasy these days. Again, I've been very plucked out of the Helldivers 2 community. Call it self-care to not interface with them. Extra padding is a damage control passive, and it makes me sad as a light armor main. The light gunner armor is all, like, pretty damn good. I think it's one of the better light armors, honestly. It's not as good as medium extra padding because it doesn't give you headshot reduction, but it does help sometimes. Like, see, right there would have been 100% dead without extra padding. Really, really solid. But yeah, headshot damage is so important, or headshot damage reduction. I feel like most of my deaths these days are due to headshots, which might as well be random crits on the enemies, to the enemy's benefit, since I don't think they intentionally aim for heads. And there's not much you can do really to protect your head, because, you know, your head is where your gun is most of the time, so you can't really shoot enemies without exposing it. And, you know, HD2 community is horrendous. It's like, it keeps getting worse too. Like, every time I've checked, like, the Reddits or the Discord, like, in the past couple months, every time people are more and more unhinged and more toxic. And it's just like, how it's gonna end badly, I think. Like, I would be surprised if that one doxing we had is going to be the worst thing that happens with the Helldivers 2 community. Because people are only getting, like, more and more, like, toxic and crazy and up in arms about shit. So, I don't know. Maybe things will start improving if the game does. Like, slowly but surely. But it's not gonna be, like, overnight. It's gonna take a while before things, I think, really improve. But right now, the Helldivers 2 community, at least outside the game, the one inside the game is fine. but the one outside the game is a cesspit. Like, do not interface with it at all. Like, the Reddits, the Discord, it doesn't matter which one, they're all trash. Okay. There we go. I'm sure some of them are less bad than others, please drive. Some of them are less bad than others, but overall, I definitely think it's just like a black hole of a positive place. You're only doing harm to yourself. Okay, actually, let's go do that same site. We can leave the car parked down here. Here, live an appreciation comment for the title of the stream regarding the community. I stopped engaging with most things outside the game because it was making my life shitty. Yeah, people don't realize, but what you read and consume online does have an effect on your mental health. And it sounds silly to let, like, people being toxic about a video game, like, get to you, but that's just human nature. You read, like, vitriol, and it's gonna upset you. That's just normal, you know? And, like, the only solution is just like, avoid people like that. Which is unfortunate, because then it means you can't interface with, the community of Helldivers 2 at all, really. Except my... again, the only people I interface with are my viewers. I feel like at this point, the only viewers I have left are people who are not too toxic, at least. Because I think a lot of the toxic people, like, now, like, flock to whoever they're hating on these days. It's probably still Odo. That's the... He seems to be quite a lightning rod for that type of comments. That type of commenter. Unfortunately, with him, I do sympathize. Some of them are less bad than others, like this one. I mean, okay, like, not everybody is a cesspit. Not outside of the game, right? I'd like to think my audience is not too toxic. I really don't think you guys are, because probably I make a really concerted effort to stay out of, like, this really stupid, like, laser one culture war, right? And I feel like a lot of people who are drawn to that kind of content of somebody trying to not engage in that are probably people who also don't want to engage in that themselves. So that's the one advantage we do have here. But as soon as you, like, go to any place that is engaged in that culture war, then it gets terrible. And unfortunately, literally every place in this community, or almost all of them, that I'm aware of are engaged with that. How the fuck did they get up there? Did they just clip up the terrain, or did they really run up those stairs to the right and around me? Because there's no other way up there. Huh. I mean, radicals are really fast, so I'm not really paying too much attention right now. I don't think I'm going to turn this into a video. I'm kind of sick of playing the bots, honestly. This, too much ragdoll even on the sideboards. Let's play, the appropriators. I'm not toxic, I'm just sad at this point. Yeah. It's well known the algorithm is made for that kind of behavior to generate revenue. Quitting these fandoms is 100% better for mental health. Yeah, but at the same time, being negative doesn't make me more revenue than, like, just being positive does. Like, you look at the channels which are just completely positive, and they make way more views and way more money. I'm sure they put a lot more effort into, like, editing and content than I do. But even when you look at my videos, like, a video where I do a critique, like the Helldivers 2 mission design, that takes me, like, 5 times as long to do as just a gameplay video. Because a gameplay video, I think up of a build, I boot up the game, I go and play it. There's barely any editing, just sound levels, really easy. But, like, an actual critique video, that takes, like, multiple... I have to write the script, I have to do a lot of different takes until I get one I'm happy with, I have to record background footage, I have to splice it all together. It's a lot more work for comparably less reward. So being negative doesn't even really get you more money. I think there's just a lot of things to be negative about, unfortunately. You've been very careful of labeling or blaming anyone but Arrowhead. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like all of this comes from Arrowhead. Like, they are the gods of this little community / universe. What they do is what causes things to happen. Like, people won't get toxic if there's nothing to be toxic about. People won't get mad if there's nothing to be angry about. There's not going to be any, like, negativity YouTubers if the game's in a good state, because people won't be mad. Like, the source of all these problems is the state of the game, and you can't fix the problem unless you fix the source of the problem. But that's obviously not up to us, and God knows everybody's done what they could to get that studio to listen to anything, but, you know, lost cause at this point. Alright, let's do an appropriator game. Enough yapping. Free Colony. I like the Destroy Exospire missions. Those are cool. The amount of effort is unfortunately disproportionate to the amount of engagement you get. It's the lowest common denominator meta of content right now. Yeah. It's just... I don't even know at this point. I make those critique videos because I gave a shit about Helldivers 2, but frankly, I feel like at this point, I'm kind of over this. Like, I still enjoy playing it. I still enjoy making content of it. A lot less than I used to, but I really don't care to make, like, these big feedback mechanisms. Like, my main feeling towards Helldivers 2 right now is just apathy, unfortunately. Because I know I know Arrowhead's not going to listen, and the community's not fun to engage with, and the game isn't that fun right now. It's not in a good state. So what's, like, there's nothing really to care about, which really sucks. Because, like, they had that level of passion. The game did have that level of passion, and it's just been blood dry. And honestly, even if Arrowhead, like, completely turns around, I'm not sure it's not too late. Because I think a lot of people, like, just stopped caring about Helldivers 2 across the board. And that really blows. Because this game, I think, got, like, fucked over so unfairly. And it really, like, I feel bad for the people that made this game. Not, like, the people that balanced this game or bug fixed this game, but all the people that put in hours and hours of their life. Like, even look at this gun. Somebody spent probably over, like, a dozen hours just modeling this thing and looking up designs of real silenced weapons and figuring out how they could make it fit with the Helldivers aesthetic and look like the thing it's supposed to be, and the amount of detail and work they put into that. And it feels like all of that, like, work and passion, which Arrowhead clearly has, just gets squandered at the last step. And that's, like, very upsetting for them, I'm sure, so I sympathize with that. But at this point, I think people just don't really care about Helldivers 2 that much anymore. A lot less than they used to. Maybe it'll come back. We'll see. But enough yapping. Let's actually play. No, Pacifier. The Pacifier is pretty fun on this faction. I actually do quite like... I never use the Pacifier. I think it's actually good on the Squids or on the Appropriators. Let's do the Pacifier maxi gun build. Because this is the only place I think it's even, like, remotely decent. And then double sentries and maybe a 500 kg bomb as a treat. The pistol, low-key pretty good, but I think I kind of want the Loyalist, because I don't have a good way of getting through Enforcer shields, and the Loyalist is really good. And then Thermite. Yeah, fuck it, let's run with this. Helldivers 2 is an abusive partner. I think Arrowhead's an abusive partner. I have no, like, ill will against the video game itself, unfortunately, but it really is. It's like, I promise I've changed this time for real, and then they just go and do the same shit over and over again. Design art team of Helldivers 2, they are fantastic. Really, like, this is some of the coolest, like, military, like, science fiction I've ever seen since Halo Reach. And that is, like, an enormous compliment. Because it's my favorite style of science fiction aesthetically, like this kind of, like, grounded military-esque. And it's pretty rare to get it right. So I really do think there are people that get it. So I hope that no matter what happens to Helldivers 2 and Arrowhead as a studio, those guys, you know, are never out of work. Because I think Helldivers 2 has lost a lot of that magic for me. And that might be subjective, but that is still how I feel. Okay. Pacifier actually really decent against flying overseers, because it holds them in place and then you can just headshot them. The Pacifier is actually really decent on the Squids overall. Maybe I should use it against this default sub-faction as well. But then Flesh Mobs kind of ruined this weapon, unfortunately. Flesh Mobs are stupid spam these days. Arrowhead is the antagonist DM. Yeah, that was a really good video. I remember seeing that one. That was a very good way of describing them and thinking about them, unfortunately. I've had this thought before, but imagine being an indie dev that makes, like, games like this, like horde shooters or, like, science fiction games, and then seeing, like, the success Helldivers 2 had, and then seeing them just fucking flub it completely. That would be the most tilting thing ever. I can't even imagine how upset I would be watching like somebody like get what would essentially be my dream, which is like a massively successful game people love, and then just like running it into the ground like over and over again. Like, it's tilting to watch just as somebody who plays the game, but like as a game developer, to me that would be so infuriating. Feels like Arrowhead accidentally made a good game and are trying to correct their mistake. I feel like that's kind of oversimplifying it, because I do think there are people... I think Arrowhead's just a studio that's very divided, and there are people who made a good game, and then there are people who come in and ruin it afterwards. And these people seem to have the equal amount of say and power in the decision making, and that's how we end up with patches like 6.2, like the Spore Burst train. That's how you can have the Spore Burst train and like radicals and agitators in the same game. It is an enormous gap of skill, and of course maybe there's like what do you call it, outsourcing involved in that as well. But like I refuse to believe people who made Hulks are the same people who made War Striders. Like that, those are not the same people. The level of design and care and passion put into those two enemies is night and day. And you don't make a good enemy like Hulks by accident, you know? Like, it's not... I mean, maybe you can if you try hard enough, with enough, you know, the monkey, infinite monkey theorem or whatever it's called. But at the same time, I really don't think... Ooh, nope, you're stunned because Pacifier is actually really good. Here, specifically. Not overall. It's still a pretty bad gun. Because the stun is just, pretty weak, unfortunately. I don't know, this is a depressing game to think about. But I feel like every stream and every video I do turns to this, because it's just like... It's impossible not to think about these things while I'm playing, unfortunately. Maybe for others it is possible, but not for me. Okay, this is a good spot to be Gatling Sentry if I remember correctly. And this one is not too bad. Arrowhead is far from being indie. They really are. They made so much money with this game. Like hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, it's insane how much money they made with this. I think one of their biggest mistakes really was not hiring more devs, like, immediately after the game exploded and got so many more people. That should have been, like, their first move. That would have been my first move. It's like, holy shit. Like, we have hundreds of thousands of more people than we thought, and way more of a budget and resources. Like, upscaling is the natural conclusion. But, you know, I guess they want to keep everything in-house except for all the outsourcing they do, which apparently is a lot. So they did end up outsourcing. They did end up upscaling their studio anyway, just, I guess in a way they have even less control. These guys do some bullshit. I do like the Velociraptors, but they do tend to collect utility quite a bit. Yeah, I would like to press this button before I get the shit smacked out of me. No, they want my Gatling Sentry. It's fine, you can have him. He's kind of a son of a bitch anyway. Okay. Man, I wish the Maxi Gun was good. This thing is fun to shoot. At least it has like one niche today, which is the Appropriators, compared to 0 niches before, but I would like to be able to use this thing at least on the bugs, but it is not good there. Because projectile weapons are just not good against the bugs, unfortunately. Tanks are a really fun enemy defensively, but unfortunately tanks can be a little non-threatening. Yeah, I do... There are some enemies I think genuinely do need, like, some buffs. Not crazy gunship style buffs where you take a useless enemy and turn it into the most oppressive enemy on the front, but just a little something. Like, balance changes or should be a gradual process, you know. Like, broad sweeping changes just cause problems. They just cause problems that you have to fix later. I mean, we'll look at like the heavy pen grenade launcher, right? Like, that was a big disaster for Arrowhead. When they could have just made the... Like, there was a solution there. I still hope they do this eventually. Like, give the grenade launcher 2 explosions, and one is heavy pen and one is medium pen. so it only does part of its damage as heavy pen. And then you have like the perfect version of the grenade launcher, I think, where it's not like the best anti-heavy weapon ever, but it can help against them if you find yourself in a situation, you know, where you need that. I think that was the goal they wanted to go for, and they just didn't realize how strong it would actually be in practice, which is kind of crazy. Just you play one game with it, and I was like, holy shit, this thing's so overpowered. Oh, man. Slow changes are good. For balance, slow changes are good. I think for bug fixes, you want very quick changes. But in terms of balance, you have to be gradual. You can't just flip the world upside down like in a single change. That just doesn't work, unfortunately. I feel like that did not stop. Okay. Oh, I trusted in the maxi gun, and for once it did not disappoint. That really should probably have killed me, but hey, we take those. Man, if the maxi gun had stagger, it would be so kino. Just being able to like push back like hordes of warriors and alpha commanders with this thing just through sheer mass of bullets would be so cool. But that's like the main change I would make to this thing, is give it like really decent stagger so that it becomes like a very defensive style weapon, which I think would make the standing still restriction a lot more palatable, because I don't think Arrowhead's going to get rid of that anytime soon. I do not know how to describe any of their decision making, if there's any at all. I think they've just been flying blind, is the thing. I think they just don't really play the game very much, and certainly not at like a skillful level. And all their feedback, they get it from people who also don't play the game. Unfortunately, because there's a lot of LARPers in the community who I genuinely think do not play the game at all, or very, very little. But then they go on like Discord and surveys and the Reddits, and then they just talk like they're the pros who know everything. And I get them in my comments segment too. I made a comment about that when I switched over to Far Far West for a while, how every single piece of advice I got for that game was like true. But then I go back for Helldivers, and people were just coming to my comments segment and like factually say, hey, this thing works, do this. And they were just wrong. They were just wrong. You could check that out in like 5 minutes and prove that it was wrong in 5 minutes. But they were still like sharing this thing like it was 100% true. So I just think there's a lot of people who don't play Helldivers too, and it seems like somehow they have more sway over the people that actually do play, or than the people that actually do play. Which is very backwards, but it would explain just about everything, I think. To me, that's the explanation that makes the most sense. Thank you, Tiny Tree blocking a 500 kilogram bomb dropped from a plane going at probably supersonic speeds. A couple branches could stop that easy. No problem. Certainly didn't get what makes the game fun for most, comparing it to Arma. Yeah. I think some of like the a light milsim stuff is fine, like the way armor penetration works, and even like angled armor wouldn't bother me that much and things like that. But this is not a game that has anything to do with Arma at all, you know. This is very much arcadey, and like even from launch and even during Escalation Freedom, like it's always been arcadey, because I think Arrowhead only knows how to make arcadey games. Like if you look at their repertoire, or their works, I guess, not their repertoire, it's like it's all arcade games they've made, like Magicka, Helldivers 1, Gauntlet. They have never made a milsim. I don't think they know how, but for some reason they expected people to like fill in the like connect the dots for them and turn this game into a milsim when it really isn't. I don't know. It's a weird studio. I think it's just very LARP heavy, and I think the people they listen to are also LARPers. Halstead, where's the weekly report? LMAO. Better communication is that's the abusive part of the relationship, is constantly promising, oh, we'll be better, oh, I promise I'll be better this time, and then just not delivering on that. That's textbook. I do not like these gatekeepers, so those guys are very scary with their ranged attack. Man, the Appropriator mechs look so cool. Again, Helldivers 2 design team is so cracked. They're so good at their jobs. Even though the Squids, I think, are aesthetically the weakest faction, like, Overseers are just, like, really whatever. They're way less cool than the, like, Cultist leaks we've been seeing for years, which means I really hope those guys don't get scrapped, but there are still quite a few cool things on this faction. Like how the Stingray and the Harvester are, like, biomechanical if you get up close and look at them. Raging and yapping at this point, so sad for this game. It was, yeah. I completely understand what you feel. This is a safe space to vent. This is Helldivers 2 Anonymous. Safe place to vent, hopefully without like stupid Glazer versus Whiner culture war bullshit. Just speak your mind. That's it. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot more to be negative about than to be positive about, and there has been for quite a while. Which is really tough. Hopefully that changes, but again, I've got to see the next patch and the next Warbond to see if this is just going to be another 60-day type deal where Sony stepped in, forced them to do something, and now they're just going to go right back to the same shit. They almost killed their game once. I know which I would put my money on, unfortunately, but again, let's not be defeatist. Even if that would probably be the most logical. Okay. Let's get rid of this part. I do like this mission quite a bit. Because it's yet another mission that actually does what I want it to do, personally. And sends enemies at you to attack you. Isn't that crazy? And I think it's more forgiving than the flag. Because you don't have to like stay glued to one spot. You can actually maneuver around a little bit. You just have to protect this thingamabob. Man, this update was such a W. Like, the Appropriator update, and this faction and mission type, and, like, a sea of just absolute garbage during that time. It was such a rough period for the game, and, well, we'll see if it's over or not. Helldrivers Solarp. Is that the name of the new Warbond, Helldrivers? That's kind of funny. I think I actually did see a leak for another FRV that was like a autocannon sentry FRV or like an anti-tank replacement FRV or something like that, which would be pretty cool actually. I don't see myself using it obviously because it's a solo player, but actually maybe big Automaton Blitz for Automaton Blitz missions actually a fucking drivable anti-tank emplacement would go really hard for that. So I would use it, at least in that context. Okay, you're gonna be separate there. Let's get the little icon and just shoot right through his arm. There goes both of my sentries, I think. Real tough for working. Man, the recoil on this thing is just brutal. I wouldn't mind it so much if the gun was actually good. Like, I feel like balancing things with really high recoil and making them difficult to use can make them feel more powerful. But, I don't think the maxi gun is as powerful as the visual and audio effects convey, unfortunately. Though on this faction, again, it is really decent. I'm getting a lot of value out of, both the pacifier and the maxi gun. Okay, and, yeah, fuck 100% the mission. I'm really over 100% missions these days. It's too much work. Just arrived. How are you enjoying the pacifier? I think it's pretty fun on this faction specifically. I'm just using it here because I will never use it on any other front because it sucks otherwise. But at least on the Appropriators, I get to enjoy a little bit of variety. Can't get myself excited for new Helldivers content. Yeah. I think that's how you know a game's like kind of cooked, when people aren't even excited for new stuff. And honestly, I'm really not either. Like, the only reason I'm excited for new stuff is to make content on it. That's it. And that's just not really what I wanted this game to be, but I don't know. I still think things could, like, turn around, but it's gonna take, like, months of good changes for that to happen. But I still think, like, I think fucking Oshawune into Cybersand, into the Spore-Burst strain, just, like, broke people's, like, motivation to play this game. Or to even give a shit about it at all. At least it did for me. And, like, the Appropriators were, like, a nice little reprieve in between all that, but it wasn't enough. Just, like, a full, like, 7 months of just really terrible, terrible content. And I genuinely believe, like... What the fuck? Oh, that was a... I thought I was having a stroke right there. Fucking Arrowhead's setting the mind kill, like, the Cognito hazard after me. But, no, that was just a little lightning effect. So, I don't know. I could see myself caring about the game and new content again in the future, but right now it's just, like... Too long... Too much bad shit for too long, I think. It definitely made more sense, though. Focus a little bit, these outposts are actually quite well guarded. If they all want to filter around this corner straight into the point blank maxi gun, that's fine by me. I'm not going to complain. Okay, and eat up. I still kind of hate that the supply boxes only give you 2 stems. I really wish they gave you 4 stems these days. I feel like that would help a lot with the supply economy and make the supply pack less meta. Because having to take 2 boxes of stems just to get full health is like... It works in Deep Rock, because Deep Rock you don't have a limited... Well, you do have a limited amount of resupplies, but you can expend like multiple of them at once if you really need it, unlike Helldivers. Because it's not on a cooldown in Deep Rock, it works off of a resource you can harvest. At this point, I'm just playing the game for the art music stuff because that's the only thing I get right. And yeah, I think a lot of people are in that boat too, and that's why a lot of people watch Helldivers 2 content and don't play it. Because they just want to see the cool stuff, but then it's like you have to go and play it, and it's like, oh, this sucks ass. Abysmal dog shit. So I think a lot of people, I mean, it's good for me, like, financially, but it's not good for the game. And if the game's not doing well, then my channel probably won't be doing that well. It won't be far behind. Because, I don't know, Darktide's fun, but I don't think it has nearly as much of an audience, and I don't think I can make nearly as much revenue off Darktide as I can off of Helldivers. Unfortunately, that is still a pretty big concern for me. Hopefully it won't be in the future, and then I can kind of do more or less what I want instead of just being shackled to the algorithm and ad revenue. But for now, alas. Okay. I think that's the main thing that confuses me about a lot of the culture war stuff, is that people are so mad at content creators for doing critiques and whining and so on and so forth. But it's like, at least I make those. I can't speak for everybody else, obviously. I make those because I think those suggestions would be good for the long-term health of the game. Like, that's the only way I can think of helping this game, is by making content like that. Because if Helldivers 2 is doing badly, then my channel is doing badly, and obviously I don't want that. So it's always really funny when people like blame like creators for how things are going, because it's just like, you do realize like why we do these things, right? And why we make criticisms and have negative opinions about things. But I don't know, I think a lot of people don't really care about wanting the game to be good. They just want to like rage bait people online, unfortunately. I think that's just the state where the community is in. The Custom Galactic War is an actual project. It looks really cool, and I would check it out if I trusted the Helldivers 2 community enough to give them... What did you need? Like, command prompt access to your computer? I'm sorry, I just do not trust the community even close enough for that. That seems like a really ill-advised plan, if you ask me. I'm sure they're fine people. I don't want to, like, cast... like doubts on them because I have no like factual reason to believe they would do something toxic to me. It's just a general like cautious mindset I have about that sort of thing. Because after the doxing and seeing how some people talk about, like, just everybody else in the community and how toxic things are, I think that's just better safe than sorry. If we had, like, a proper modded client and I didn't need to give them command prompt access and, like, registry access, I think. I don't know exactly what you need, but it is, like, from what I saw, more than I'm willing to give, then I would absolutely cover it, because it does seem really cool, and honestly a lot more fun than the base game is these days. Even with the last good patch, it's still just, like, wasn't even close to enough to be worth so bad. I'm really glad I brought the Loyalist, because this would suck about it. This is such a good sidearm. It's very slept on, which I understand why, because pure combat sidearms are usually not that useful. Like, you want utility. But hey, mini purifier is still a mini purifier. Okay, I want to finish this, even if I die for it. I think that's an acceptable outcome. I'm definitely dying for it, but we did finish it. I think if I don't get linked by this guy, I'm gonna be okay. But he is faster than me. Ooh, okay. He's all right behind me. Darktide is cool, but Faction caters to the 0.5% of their audience that want the game to be stupidly hard. I didn't really get that. I mean, the game is difficult, but I feel like the classes we have are really powerful in Dark Coffin. So it feels like more like what I would want Helldivers to be, where players are very powerful, but enemies are also very powerful. Really, my main problem is with, like, the bugginess of a lot of things. Like, Poxbursters especially are infuriating. And, like, Trappers being silent. Or just any specials being silent. So the game definitely has issues, but as far as balance goes, that is definitely not my biggest complaint for that game. It's just, like, readability issues and bugs are, the things that piss me off. Also, I didn't really acknowledge that, or even register that, but did that appropriator get sent to the moon? Because he kind of just disappeared while I was yapping. I didn't really process what happened. Okay, yeah, he's locked in. If a harvester is locked in, you just died. It's the unfortunate truth. Sidearm seems very good at destroying the capsules. Any explosive or plasma is really good at that. Like, if you take the Plasma Punisher, which is a very solid weapon on this front, you will have a very easy time doing that segment. Okay, I'm gonna call in the Sacrificial Machine Gun Sentry. I do like the Maxi Gun on this front, but it is definitely not the strongest against Harvesters. It just kills them too slowly. It's really good against their shields, but it's very difficult to actually hit that limb if they're moving around and shooting back, which, you know, they tend to be doing. Maybe with Peak Physique could be better, but the Maxi Gun really does not, hasn't earned the right to take away my extra battery. I'm sorry, Maxi Gun. The built-in modding system, DRG, would go so hard in Helldivers 2. I think that was, like, my best take ever. Not to pat myself on the back, but I'm sorry, I still think I was 100% right, where I think the only, like, way Helldivers 2 really shines is if Arrowhead is just like, fuck it, you can mod whatever you want, and we'll keep doing what we want, but you can mod the game, and here's the tools to do it, like, officially, and we won't stop you. Because I think Arrowhead is never going to have their heart in it if they have to make a game they don't want to make. They're too stubborn for that. So, unless they, like, hire a whole new team or do some really big restructuring, I think Helldivers 2, like, Arrowhead's never going to develop the Helldivers 2 that we want willingly. They're always going to try and do what they want. And, like, that's a situation you can't resolve without, like, having two different versions of the game. And the only way to do that is modding. Loyalist can honestly feel better than the Purifier at time with a faster charge rate. Of course, the ammo economy is like 1,000,000 times worse than the Purifier. Yeah, I really don't enjoy using the Purifier. It gives me carpal tunnel, I feel like. Because the spam clicking is the real bad part. Like, when you have to do this and then charge, that feels like really unpleasant to actually use. Which is why I never use it, even though it's a really good primary. One of the best in the game. But the Loyalist does feel better because you're less incentivized to spam fire. And if you do, like, it's only got, like, 8 rounds in the magazine instead of, like, 15. Or however many the Purifier has. Plus the charge up being faster means less clutching the mouse to charge it up. The lower damage is pretty noticeable in some enemies though, especially like the warriors and stuff. The tankier ones. Tankier chaff at least. Really hate all overseers and harvesters. The Illuminate don't have enough standard enemies so they get spammed too much. Yeah. Dead on. This is why this faction is so good, because it does have a standard enemy that you can spam. The Obtruders. And the Obtruders are so much less annoying than Voteless and Flesh Mobs are. But, like, Overseers and... all the Overseer variants are obviously meant to be, like, elite enemies, like Alpha Commander style, or, like, Agitator or Radical style. But they spawn like they're just high cards. Like, they're Chaff Plus. Even though they really don't act that way, and they obviously aren't designed that way. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have tried to stood my ground that time. I got lucky with it once. Think about games that have survived decades, and it's the ones that have given players the keys to a degree. Yeah, like you look at RTS, it's the ones with really good map makers, and like Warcraft 3, like fucking, like custom maps. And you look at, like, Skyrim, and it's because there's a ton of modding. And, like, sure, this is a very different game from those, but at the same time, it's like... there are always going to be people who give it more of a shit about the game than the devs do. Especially when it comes to Helldivers 2, because it seems like the devs don't give much of a shit at all about this game sometimes. And, like, if you give those people the reins, like, they will make some really cool shit. But you just have to let them lose. Okay. I guess fucking Velociraptors can fly now. No, I'm sorry. I'm not making The Last of Us or The Last Jedi joke. Too much, I don't have that much self-respect, but I made that joke too many times in the past like year. It's okay, really? That many reinforcement lanes that fast? I guess, hold the trigger and hope for the best. I'm glad I did not finish the input for that bifurcation in time. I think I'm just cooked for right now because I don't have any stuns. You gotta die like ASAP. Actually, like everything here's gotta die ASAP, unfortunately. Least favorite part about the squids is the fucking visual clusterfuck of just flashing lights non-stop. And shining purple flashlights in my eye. Really not a pleasant experience for the user. Especially because a trillion fucking watchers spawn at extract. Okay, I just gotta live a couple more seconds. This is gonna be... we can extract just fine. I don't think we're gonna survive though. Yeah, we're dead for sure. What is happening? Visual overload? Yeah, that's just the squids. Just shine a ton of flashlights in your eyes and call it a faction. Well, man, I would love a mod that, like, lowers the brightness on fucking snitches, because they're so obnoxious. Even if it makes them, like, a little bit harder to spawn normally, I value my eyes more than I value completing missions in this game, if I'm gonna be fully honest. Yeah, it's always the squids are easy right up until they aren't. When you get into that, infinite spawn cycle of enemies. I think the Gatling turret is going to help us clear out a little bit. No, it's going to get instant killed by the Harvester, because of course it won't. But we leave. The Appropriators punish you a lot more. Oh, okay. One last fuck you on the way out. Cool. I've noticed that Appropriators punish you a lot more with ships than regular Illuminate, which has the majority of their enemies in patrols. Yeah, maybe that's why they're fun. Because, like, they actually reward you for sniping snitches instead of just harassing you the entire mission. Called it the Purple Dimension. I forgot about that. It really does feel like the Purple Dimension. I mean, that's what the Void is, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water and turn up my AC, so I'll be back in 2 seconds. I recommend you also take a sip of water and, well, maybe don't turn up your AC. I don't know what the temperature's like where you guys are at, but it's quite hot here. But I'll be back probably before the stat screen is even done. fucking wonder the AC is not working. It got turned off by the power outage. I forgot to turn it back on. It's so easy for appropriators to get infinite spawns. The snitch spam is real. Yeah, that's why the warrant is so good on the squids. Like, sniping those overseers actually does do a lot of good for you. 800 kills on appropriators in a squad of 3. That's impressive. I feel like reaching like 300 to 400 kills in teams is always difficult, just because there's not enough to go around. Better TTV works. I don't know what that is. I can probably guess from context clues that it is improved stream experience. I'm actually curious how you're enjoying streaming, Mr. Cringe. It's fun. I like doing it. The problem is just you get no ad revenue from streaming is the unfortunate part. So I only have so much time to dedicate to making videos and streams, you know, like just to do YouTube stuff. So I feel like the streams, I do them for fun, but I still need to do the videos in order to have revenue, because that's just how YouTube works. Maybe Twitch is better for that in terms of ad revenue, but I also don't want to like spam a ton of ads, because I feel like that worsens the stream experience by quite a lot. So I put it on the medium setting or the lowest setting, whichever one. They don't really make a difference. Squids are aquatic animals. They need water too, so do you. Dude, are these squids actually aquatic, or are they because they seem to do okay on land, more or less, so maybe they're amphibian. Best take for this game is to give us better, less annoying enemies or more variety rather than spamming the same ragdolls or one-shot machines. Yeah, it should be such an obvious take, but for some reason it's a point of contention. When you spam a fun, good enemy like Hulks, people have fun. When you spam a bad, shitty enemy like War Striders, people don't have fun. It's genuinely that simple. Like, a child can understand it. They don't look like Helldivers 1 squids. Aren't Overseers, like, not really squids? Like, there's something different? I don't remember. There's some lore bullshit involved with that. Okay, we can do Genesis Prime. No Squid Mega Cities, though. I don't want to play, I don't want to play with Leviathans. No, thank you. Cringe enthusiast, where the heck is my hyena? Probably not for another week at least, and that's if we win the MO. This phase, it seems like we're supposed to lose, unfortunately. And the lore, they are presumed to have evolved from aquatic stuff. Yeah, we evolved from aquatic stuff and became terrestrial, though. I guess maybe there's less of a big gap in between those two steps from becoming, you know, sapient, space-traveling species and whatever. I hate this new bug where it lies to you what mission type it is. It's so minor, but so annoying. Okay, yeah, see, retrieve Reconcraft intel. Is this actually Free Colony? Okay, there we go. We don't know what enemies we're gonna get, and now we don't even know what missions we get half the time. Wonderful. Illuminate cultists do look like an aquatic civilization. Look at their faces. Yeah, they definitely look like mollusk-esque. I don't know, that's not a word, but that's what they make me think of. Okay, what weapon is good on the squids these days? The laser cannon. Big fan. Laser cannon and a gun dog, because fuck overseers. Gundog is underrated. People don't vibe with the Gundog that much. You know what? Let's use the pacifier again. I want to see how good it is on normal squids. Gundog, and gonna bring... What should we bring? I feel like sentries are bad on squids these days. The Tesla Tower is pretty good. When you're solo, they're bad across the board because it's hard to keep them alive. And maybe a gas strike just for fun. It's kind of a funky build, but yeah, it's fine. I'll get along. Squids are mollusks, yeah. These guys, they definitely do look like a very squid-related. Leviathans are the worst designed enemy. That is a competitive category, but Leviathans make a very strong case for themselves. Squids are a result of redesign. Borgs don't even look that much like Helldivers 1 Borgs. Yeah, but see, the Borgs, like, it makes sense they look different because they've had 100 years of technological advancement Because, like, the Helldivers 1 Borgs were, like... they were, like, built in a cave with a box of scraps. Like, these Borgs today are, like, industrially made. Clearly in, like, a very refined, like, advanced process. Compared to the old Borgs. But the species just looking... or the squids looking different as a species. That feels more like a redesign / retcon. If that makes sense. Scythe and Epoch instead, that would be fine, but I hate the stationary reload of the Epoch, I'm sorry. I don't enjoy using the Epoch at all. Which is a shame, because I love plasma weapons, but it just takes one really shit stationary reload, and that's enough for me not to have fun with it. Especially on the squids, where there's just like voteless and flesh mobs all the time. Getting that reload off is so annoying, especially now that they killed the jump pack tech, which was the only time I used the Epoch. Borgs are the real heroes. The grow up is insane. Yeah, see, I feel like that was like a logical evolution of that faction, where it feels like the squids are like a retcon, which I get because people hated the squids in Helldivers 1, right? So I get why Arrowhead would want to redo them, but now people hate squids still, but just for completely different reasons. Like, they're terrible in a completely different way, which is kind of a funny way things turned out. Because the squids in Helldivers 1 were, like, very tricky and, like, deception and, like, weird effects and things like that. But the squids in Helldivers 2 are, like, super oonga boonga. Like, I'm gonna run at you with a stick and hit you. Which, isn't very interesting, unfortunately. C4 is really bad against the appropriators. Squid mechs are super explosive resistance. I would agree with you, except for the fact that the only way I managed to complete the high value defense mission was with C4 spam against the appropriators. And it actually worked really well there. But I also had like unlimited supplies, more or less. So that did make a pretty big difference. But C4 is not... it's definitely the worst against... I think it's kind of equally just okay against the bugs and the squids. It's like way stronger against the bots than either of those, obviously. But I don't know, maybe C4 is not that good on appropriators if you don't have like infinite supplies, essentially. So I guess if with the supply FRP, it could probably work. Squids don't feel like an advanced alien force. Yeah, it still feels just like the Vanguard that attacks Super Earth so much later, and that kind of sucks. I still, like, very much think that the Squid update should have been before, definitely before Machine of Oppression, but honestly even before Into the Unjust. Like, they should have finished the Squids, like, ages ago, instead of moving on to the other factions to get them more content. Because, like, having what is essentially, like, an unfinished faction in the game for, what, a year and a half at this point? That's, like, barely changed? Not really the move, I don't think. Or not the move I would go for, but then again, I feel like typically Arrowhead seems to do the opposite of what a good idea would be. Maybe I just need to start like making videos with really terrible ideas, and then Arrowhead will be contrarians and do the exact opposite. Alright, I'll contact all the other content creators. Tell them to make the worst suggestions possible, just so that Arrowhead does the opposite. Could work. The laser cannon feels a little bit worse than I remember it being. Maybe I'm just not hitting the eye as well. But I think it's killing them a bit slower than I would expect. Okay, Loyalist is going to be my flesh mob killer. That sucks, but what can you do? Let's try and get out of this jungle and into the city so we can actually fucking see what we're doing. I hope TCS 2.0 is the prelude to their return. I hope they just return at all. Really, at this point, I don't care how. But hopefully sooner rather than later, because this is like, it's ridiculous how long the Squids have been like a third of a faction at this point. Like, that really should have been like first priority is finishing this faction. Oh no, sorry, I have to do the opposite. Yeah, I actually think we should get about 1,000 more bug sub-factions, preferably with a ton of ragdolling enemies and bad performance before we get a Squid update, please, Arrowhead. Let's see if the gamble works out. Oh yeah, I can actually track you now. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I can do that. Oh, okay, that's cool. That was a good change. I mean, it was a good change because it's stupid that it had limited range in the first place when all other lasers don't. But the lasers released in such a bad state at launch. It was like pathetic. The fact that they didn't do any fire damage was crazy. Imagine the Breaker Incendiary or the Cookout, except they don't set enemies on fire. And they still would be better than the launch Scythe and Laser Cannon were. The launch Laser Cannon also had medium pen, if you can believe it, and it didn't do any more damage. Like, actually one of those things that is just incomprehensible to me that somebody, like, would look at those numbers and be like, yeah, that's good. Like, you can ship it as is. Genuinely cannot even fathom thinking that when I think of the launch Laser Cannon. Yeah, let's take out the X Scrambler before we take out the Flag Objective, because I really would like to not have to fiddle around with my stratagems before actually being able to do things in the middle of a firefight. This build feels pretty good actually against these squids. The Loyalist is good against flesh mobs. Laser Cannon's good against Overseers, Boatless, and Harvesters. And then the Pacifier is really good against Snitches. It's probably the best primary against Snitches. Kind of funny that the Force of Law Warbond package turned out to be the best anti-snitch loadout possible. Because even the Arc Dog can stun Snitches, which is kind of impressive. Man, I'm kind of coming around on the Pacifier as a squid gun. It's still bad, because it should have the same stun as the Hull. Because the Hull has like a 5-second stun, I think. And the Pacifier only has like a 2 to 3 second stun, which never really made sense to me, because it just makes the Hull better in 9 cases out of 10. The only reason the Hull isn't better on the squids is because shotguns in general are not great on the squids. Okay, let's get a Pistol Tower that way. Can you please fucking turn this corner already? Thank you. Yeah, I'm not hitting it. I love how flesh mobs can animation cancel these days, by the way. A really cool feature. Because their charge attack does no damage, but that one, like, slow flail they do is like an insta-kill. It has fucked up hitboxes. At least it's insta-kill if you're not wearing extra padding. Scrambler gone, if you would please. Thank you. Okay, now we gotta run back to the flag. Laser Cannon. More cultist adjacent leaks. Drip, who's been doing some subliminal messaging stuff. See, that's the thing though. I feel like we've been getting cultist leaks for about 1 trillion years at this point. So I don't even know if they're still happening or they're scrapped. Because there's a lot of leaks from launch, which I think have genuinely been scrapped. Like the APC and, what else? Like the Eagle carpet, not the Eagle, it was like a different bomber, but like the carpet bombing stratagem. Like the Eagle anti-air rocket pods. There's a ton of shit that was leaked at launch that just isn't in the game still. And I kind of doubt they're being held out for Warbond padding. Maybe they'll still get used for Warbond padding at some point, but I feel like they would have used it by now. A guard dog update? I feel like most of the guard dogs are like in a pretty good place. It's really just the laser dog and the K9 which need an update. Those two are really rough. I mean, the K9 is powerful. It's just like pretty much griefing your team to bring it, unfortunately. Which are a really cool way to design a co-op game, by the way. But the laser dog is just like, it needs help. It got lobotomized at some point. I don't remember when exactly, but it just can't hit things anymore. It just misses all the time. enemies poke a single pixel out of cover. The worst is when the fucking snitch pokes a single pixel out of cover, and then it like swerves back into cover, and then calls the reinforcement wave from that cover. That shit is so tilting when they do that. Okay. Do I have enough gas tanks to take you out? Yes, just barely. I gotta remember, stuns don't really work against flesh mobs, unfortunately. Only gas. Maybe one day we'll get a gas primary. I can revisit the full gas build, even though it feels really bad these days because of the gas nerfs. Or the gas changes, I'm sorry. They weren't technically nerfs. Gotta watch your semantics. Laser Dog is probably second worst about friendly fire. It's actually one of those stratagems that is only good against Helldivers. Like the Mortar Sentry. It can't kill enemies, but it's really good at killing Helldivers. There's a couple of those. The K9 is like the worst friendly fire stratagem, but at least it is also good at killing enemies, you know? Same with the Tesla Tower. But the Tesla Tower is like, that's just Darwinism if you walk into it. I've always compared the Tesla Tower to a cat. Like, it gives you the warning signs. Like, do not get close to me or I will beat the shit out of you. Okay, awesome hitboxes. I think he actually did hit me that time. So maybe that was not a hitbox problem. That was just a weird terrain problem. Oh man, there was a bunch of step over sneers sneaking up. Airburst, my beloved. I don't know about that one. I think the Airburst rocket launcher is legitimately my least favorite support weapon. Because I don't like using it because of the awful stationary reload, and I hate when my team brings it. So to me, it's just like all negative. I guess it looks kind of cool. So it's not all negative, it's just 99% negative. Laser Dog uses a scythe and somehow does less damage than it. It does less damage than the dagger. Which is just like, wow. That's like some of the lowest damage DPS I think we have in the game. Like, not only is the Gun Dog like a way better shot and way more reactive, but I think it also just has higher like overall DPS. Because it spends less time reloading than the Laser Dog does missing. And then when it does shoot, it actually does damage. So I think the Gun Dog is just better than the Laser Dog in every way, except as a flashlight. The Laser Dog is actually a pretty decent flashlight. Because all our flashlights suck, unfortunately. Man, full Mega Pacifier in Flesh Mob, it still fucking does nothing. Okay, I really would like to take out that Harvester, but gee, there's a lot of targets I need to take out right now. Gas in 8 seconds, that's gonna need to do a lot of work on me. Yeah, I really hate seeing in video games I play with my eyes primarily. Why would I want to know what the enemy's doing or what I'm doing? Laser Dog would be amazing if the AI swept over. Yeah, it would. I think it would, like, actually become... I hate to use the overpowered word, because that's, again, scary word to use, but Laser Dog that was smart and actually spread fire dot around would be insanely strong. Because if you use, like, the laser cannon or even the dagger at all to spread the fire dot around effectively, you just never have to fight Bolas again. And it still does a ton of damage to every other enemy when you use it like that as well. It'd just be like a fucking flame dog with like a way better range. Set a lot more enemies on fire faster. And does less direct damage to like heavies and stuff, but way better chat clear. I think it would genuinely go from the worst guard dog to maybe the best. From like that single change. Okay, I'm cooked, okay. No stims. This guy's just gonna... Oh, you can get me immediately. Where's my nearest resupply? This way. Genuinely, since launch, we've been hearing about the cultists. That's why I think they might low-key have been, like, scrapped. I think that was, like, their first draft of the Squid Front, and then they said, for some reason, no, we'd rather go ahead with Overseers and Voltless and Flesh Mobs instead of Cultists. Even though low-key Cultists looked way more fun and way cooler. So, that was an unfortunate decision on their part. Not the first or the last. Oh, see, hey, I should be a cat girl. I didn't catch you leaving. Thanks for showing up. This is always a safe space to vent about just how upsetting the development cycle of this game has been, and most likely will continue to be, but hey, we'll see. Okay, Laser King, please don't overheat. I do really need you. Also need to keep my pacifier loaded. Nope, fuck you. Okay, never mind, fuck me. There were two of them. Squids think they're real fucking funny. Tesla Tower, you gotta give me some personal space, man. Thank you. You do as well, actually. The squids just do not respect personal space at all, do they? If the Illuminate come out is when the squids get their next major story arc. I feel like whatever the next major story arc was, Arrowhead is not working on it right now. I think they're all hands on deck, like emergency mode, trying to stop the player base from dropping even further than it already has. By like trying to speedrun, like doing things people like. When really, as we all know, it would have been much easier just to consistently do things people like from the start, and then you wouldn't be in this situation. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water while this goes on. Stingrays not being a part of the appropriators is criminal. Yeah, Stingrays are cool. I wish they were a little less buggy, but they're a fun enemy. Really, the only bugginess comes with their telegraph. Just like, it doesn't work sometimes, but when it does, they're a very cool enemy and fun to take out. Probably one of my favorite enemies on the Squid front. Though the competition is not fierce. Excluding the appropriators, because I think actually the Velociraptor is probably my favorite enemy overall. Despite the bugginess, and it can also clip through walls a lot. I still think it's a very cool, intimidating enemy. Majority of the studios are working on whatever the next game is. I think it's not the majority of the studio. I think it's only a couple devs. But my running theory for a while is that Arrowhead is just like, their talent pool is concentrated within just a couple people who are insanely cracked at what they do. And then everybody else is kind of just there to fill seats, more or less. And they don't fill those seats very well. So what I think is actually happening is... Oh, I'm dead. What I think is actually happening is all the really competent crack devs are working on the new game, even if that's not the majority of them. And that's kind of why the game has been in the downward spiral it's been, well, honestly, forever since launch. It's been on a downward spiral. Let's take you out and let's keep going. One good patch with tons of hidden nerfs. The hidden nerfs, at least this time, like, I don't want to call them hidden nerfs because they said, okay, we're going to be doing this. They just didn't tell us, like, the specifics, which still sucks. Don't get me wrong. They have no reason to not be doing the full patch notes. But it wasn't like a Coyote, like, level malicious change. So it's not, like, it's just, like, it's not as bad as it could be, but it's still, like, pointlessly bad and could have been avoided, which to me makes it even more annoying. But I think a lot of things in Helldivers 2 can be described as a pointlessly bad and could have just been avoided. Pacifier is great, injects copium. It is definitely not great. I think it is decent on the squids. I think it's even pretty okay on the squids, because being like the best primary against snitches, while also being actually really solid against flying overseers, is very valuable. And it's even like pretty good against grounded overseers, just because it can get them to drop their shield, which is something none of the other assault rifles can do. And it's also not bad against shields, but overall, it is still a bad gun with a terrible ammo economy. And, goddamn Samuel. Still forget he's good at his job now on squids. it's still a gun with a bad ammo economy that doesn't do very much damage and has a really anemic stun across the board. So it's still pretty low. I'd say the other factions, it's like D tier, and the squids, it's maybe like B, is what I would rate it. Hey, maybe it's time for another tier list, actually. I feel like, when there's a content drought, and I'm not too motivated to actually play the game, I think, tier lists are usually something that's pretty fun to do. I don't know, maybe I could edit them more. I see other, like, content creators tier lists, and they put, like, a lot of work into doing them, but I'm lazy. Hey, audio. I am having a good day. I feel pretty good today. I have a lot of stuff to do later, but overall, I feel good. And the heat wave is finally over, or it will be over soon, so I can go outside again without turning into a puddle. How would you feel about giving the pacifier the same damage as the coyote, but keeping everything else the same? I wouldn't hate that, but what I think it needs is a better stun. I don't think it should just become like another Liberator pen, like another medium pen assault rifle. We have enough of those. I think they need to lean into the stun and crowd control portion more, and make the gun stand out, but actually be good at that standing out instead of just kind of mediocre, which is what it is now. So my ideal pacifier would be like a rework of the weapon to be more of an arc weapon. I think I wrote it down somewhere, but have it like work on an overload mechanic where you if you shoot an enemy that's already stunned, you can make them like have a little bit of an arc explosion that damages enemies around them. And that's how I would rework this gun, but that would be a lot of work. So even just making the stun like last for 5 seconds instead of 2 or 3 or however long it is, and making it apply a bit faster, I think would really do a lot of good for the pacifier. Because crowd control isn't useless. I know people always say, like, the best status effect is dead, right? But most of our primaries actually fucking suck at killing enemies. So primaries that actually have a utility, like the Liberator Concussive or the Halt, which are actually good at keeping you alive, I think do have a really good, like, place. Well, I mean, not a really good place. They have a place because the killing weapons kind of suck. But they still have a place in the meta. I genuinely think the Liberator Concussive is one of the stronger bug weapons just because it can keep you alive. And most other primaries do not do that very well on the bug front. Building back trust with your community and not being 100% transparent is crazy, yeah. It's... The motto of the studio should be snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. It's like, you have a great patch, you have changes that people would, like, not mind, and then you just cause drama by not telling us what the changes are specifically. With this bullshit excuse. I think I laughed out loud the first time I saw it. Like, the changes are too long to let us. Like, that is... Okay, that's fucking junked by Voteless. That is, like, an embarrassing excuse to not have complete patch notes, and it's... Either it's bullshit, or they are just lazy. They're just so lazy. Now, like, I sympathize. I am also very lazy, but I also don't make hundreds of millions of dollars at my job. If I did, or I guess if my studio did, well, I don't make as much money as Arrowhead gives me. If I did, I think I would put a little bit more effort into doing things like complete patch notes. You know? I think that's not too much to ask. Okay, well, squid extracts always go fucking... extremely poorly. They're known to do. Ow. Can I get to the supplies without getting sand or mauled or any other way the squids have done in my Otessa Tower? Probably not, but at least I can survive until this shows up and we can be okay. Please land. Please land. Oh yeah, we're in the purple dimension yet again. And we are out of here. Jump by pants. Is that how it would go if I ran into you guys in real life? Because if so, I'm a little scared. I had a dream about a CRISPR that shoots an EMS cloud while sick last week. Hold on. That's kind of cool. Like, a crowd control flamethrower style weapon that leaves an EMS cloud actually has potential. That would be kind of cool. I don't know how you could make it good, but that would be interesting. I've been saying for a long time the de-escalator should leave little pockets of EMS when you shoot it, so it's actually like a crowd control weapon instead of just a weird grenade launcher side grade that doesn't really work that well sometimes. Supply FRV being free for weeks exposed just how poor the ammo economy is overall. It's tough. That's why the supply pack is so meta. It's just like one resupply every like 2 minutes for 4 players is not enough to go around. Like, you just use too many sims and shoot too many enemies. Unless you're run diving. Like, the supply pack has a run diver meta cooldown. It doesn't have a wants to fight every enemy cooldown. And that's a big mistake. And that's why you see a supply pack almost every single game. Because it solves a problem that not much else does. Now the supply FRV like kind of solves it as well, but it's got its own issues as well. Lightning just struck outside where I live. Valid is living through an IRL exostorm. Good luck. If you get swallowed up by the void, this is the purple dimension, so good luck if that happens. EMS should give enemies a permanent speed or attack debuff. That'd be interesting. Maybe not permanent, maybe just like a lingering for a couple seconds after they leave it. But EMS is really underused right now. Not many ways to apply it, and it just doesn't do all that much. Like, out of all the status effects, they all have like 5 to 10 ways of applying them, and EMS is just the mortar and just the EMS strike, and that's it, I think. Which is just like yet another mechanic that could be used to do cool things, and it's just not. Feel crippled without the supply pack on bugs or bots. When you're solo, no supply pack is okay, but it is annoying to not have it. The supply pack just makes the game more fun is the problem. That's why it's meta. Because it sucks when your teammate calls a resupply like on the other side of the map and you can't reach it. You know, that's just not fun. But the supply pack, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, I think I have one more. And we could do a viewer game for this one, but I don't know what we should do. I'm over the squids, I'm over the bots, and I've always been over the bugs. Well, we could do a lava planet. I like the lava planets. Let's do a commando mission, guys. This was definitely not wasted dev time, and it's definitely not taking up 2/3 of the operations on my planet, so I can't choose which fucking mission I want to play. But it's fucking great content. Thank you, Arrowhead. Fuck it. Commando missions were cool. I'm sorry, I was being a hater. Commando missions were cool for a week, but the fact that we got like 3 new mission types that are only stealth exclusive, and then we still are playing the same fucking like 5 missions everywhere else, really tilted me a lot. I really wish some of these missions like were ported over and also became normal missions. Like the camera one especially is a lot of fun. Yeah, it could be cool to do, and same with securing black box. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with these by turning them into real missions instead of just commando missions. But besides the point. Sabotage Airbase. This is actually Sabotage Airbase. ICBM always has a... Yeah, let's do a Sabotage Airbase. Fuck it, why not? Enjoy commando missions? I don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying commando missions, but when mission variety is already so bad, especially on the squids, and then you release missions just for like a single type of playstyle for a single faction, and then kind of just forget about them immediately, that feels like kind of a silly thing to do, if you ask me. It's not a good use of your time. We're not doing a commando mission, don't worry. We're doing normal missions. See, I feel like I got everything I wanted from commando missions in the first week they were out, and then that was done. You know, while like actual real missions, I feel like I would still be playing them and enjoying them to this day. But that's just me. Okay, oh wait, no, this isn't Cyborg, so we can take the Diligence, we can take Thermites, and alright, let's open up the friend codes. Unless I already have people online, but I don't know, audio, yeah, you're on. I can invite you. Is Dysphoric Smile on as well? And then let's generate a friend code, so you can just add me right now, and whoever else I will invite. Audio payload, okay, I'm inviting you. Valid reinstall, like, okay, if you reinstall by the end of the next mission, I will do one with you, Valid. I'll say extra. Okay, audio payload, dysphoric smile. I'll invite him anyway. Invite the squad just for fun. And whoever else, again, friend code generated, just shoot a friend request and I will add you first come, first serve. More operations to choose from at once or reroll. I want to reroll so bad. Reroll and then seeing the enemy seed. And the game is like improved tenfold for me overnight. All my important keys on my keyboard are busted right now. Gamer rage, smash the keyboard. Happens to the best of us. Alright. Gotta wait for people to open up that queue. Yeah, just shoot me a front invite, Bishop. And I'll add you, and then I'll invite you to the lobby. But the friend code's right here. It's 6146-2729. Yeah, anybody can join. Just send the friend request. I will add you first come, first serve. Now they're coming in. Oh, Valid, you got the install? Okay. Good job. Dysphoric Small invited you to a squad. No, sorry, Dysphoric. I'm going to host for this one. Valid invited and Lone Wolf invited. And that should be a full party. Nonchalant Dreadhead. The keyboard couldn't handle the aura. Aura farmed too hard. The keyboard just falls apart in front of your very eyes. What if you already have someone added and they wanted to play? I already added. If you were online, I added both of you. I'll accept a couple more while everybody sorts out their loadouts. Or we just have one more, yeah. But we'll do another one later. Damn, you have a good internet, Valid. You just installed that instantly. Okay, and then we get ready. Oof, man. That was a good stretch. And then we can just, we'll play by ear. Tiny enhancement. Okay, what's something I would never use by myself because it's bad, but I want to use? I feel like I always think of the spear as something I would never use because it's bad, but I like using it. Okay, spear, equal airstrike, 120. We have the pistol. I kind of want the shield grenades. They're fun. I just never use them because it's a tough sell. And you know what? Fuck it. Supply FRV, just for fun. Okay, the double airburst rocket launchers. You guys can do what you want. Valid, evil man. Nah, I'm kidding. You can run what you want. It's like an airbase mission. No, this is a. Well, we'll see when we drop, I suppose. Q-tip Overseers need a melee moveset upgrade after what we've seen from the Cyborg Agitators. Overseers need like an AI overhaul. They feel too stupid for what they're supposed to be. They feel like Chaff Plus when they should feel like an actual elite, like Agitators and Radicals are. And that's like a bad place for them to be. But the Squid roster is so small, they've been forced into that role, even though I don't think it fits them in the slightest. It's disappointing that they can't do tactical rolls to dodge our attacks. See, that would be a lot cooler than their stupid, like, no fuck you shield. They can just activate instantly with, oh, okay, we're hot dropping, boys. Extract is not clear. Background gaming would be disappointed. Oh, I'm so cold. This is, like, a bad place to be. Now, this is a hot drop. Did that ragdoll me? Yeah. Through cover. Overseers ignore gas? Yes, I believe so. Well, we're having fun. Right at the start. Missed your invite by 1 second. Damn. Rest in peace. We'll probably do another one. I'll swap out for another party. I'm feeling energized by the chaos a little bit. And of course, playing in teams is much easier and more relaxing than playing solo. But we shall see how much I get ragdolled, because that directly affects my cortisol levels. Oh, L3, you gotta... Wait, did you find the right spot? Maybe I forgot. Okay. 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 The extraction was not clear. I can confirm that. But I got to take out a gunship with my help pod, and that was pretty cool. And... Wow, the airburst rocket launcher can't even take out gunships? God damn. I feel like that should be like what it's good at, is taking out dropships. That's kind of fucked up. That he can't do that. Yeah, what a funky stratagem. Alright, but we're fine. Man, it is so nice to have a Hellpod space optimization. Not used to being able to respawn with full stims is quite nice. Do not use the airburst. Well, yeah. That is, that's how every time I use the airburst goes, is, oh, I see why I don't use this thing. I think I just shot a rocket strider with a spear rocket. I miss when they used to tell you what killed you. Apparently that was so broken, Arrowhead was just like, you know what, we're just gonna scrap the whole thing. Which, really funny. Okay, am I actually close enough? Yeah, I'm close enough. 82. Oh, you got the hammer. Go get his ass. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That was slick. Playing fucking Elden Ring over here. The hammer's so fun. I wish it was a... really wish it was a primary. I would use it all the time if it was a primary. Okay. Let's actually sling in some headshots. Uneven terrains, it's kind of tough. But should be okay. Oh yeah, I have a supply of Furby as well. I just totally forgot about that. Supply of Furby's so cool, man. I gush over it every time I use it, but it's such a fun stratagem. Airburst needs a mega damage buff. I genuinely don't know what the Airburst needs. It is such like a dysfunctional stratagem. It's like the friendly fire 9000, where I would honestly rather see it just removed from the game. It's like the Mortar Sentry, the Canine Art Dog. I think they're just like net negatives. Okay, I don't actually have any AoE. I should have brought Dynamite in this build if I was being smart. I'm missing all my fucking shots like a bozo. Are you using the Gallant? That thing's probably pretty good. Maybe I should give it another go. Because I like the Knight, but at the same time, I despise weapons that are just a medium pen variant of another. One of my biggest tilting aspects. Okay. Just drive this up the cliff. We're not going to go very far. Are you also using Oxygenator? That was a pretty impressive slide. Okay. I'm just going to reposition this to like flip it over on the ground. Oh, to the Hulk zone. Oh, fuck, I suck at driving these, dude. Okay, never mind. We're not repositioning it that way. We're going around the base. This is definitely not optimal terrain for an FRV. Or an optimal situation. Please let me switch seats. No. I want to throw in a 120 and then drive away. Because there is a fucking, what do you call it? Anti-air station somewhere. Or an anti-air outpost. I would like to take it out. I think it's probably going to be this one over here. Yeah, here it is. Let's take this out. Ooh, let's not gonna take it out ourselves though. And one more in the back and we're good. There we go. Okay, Spear plus FRV is actually kind of a cool loadout. I think it still would be just better with the oh wait. No, hold on, I need to proceed. Still be better just with the recoilless, but at least it makes the spear like a little bit more usable. Ooh, I'm sorry. Oh, no. We should be okay. Ah, it's because I was in drive, not in the second stick, second shift, second tier. Using my ability to speak in real time. Okay, where's the last fabricator? Ooh, that's a guy. Okay, this is a bad spot to have found myself in. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, that's bad. I couldn't get the cooldown off. God damn, the factory strike minions do so much damage. Gunships should have light pen for their thrusters. Maybe not light pen, but they shouldn't have like 100% durability, because that really does like screw over a lot of weapons. Okay. Stop fucking looking up in the sky. Right in there, please. As long as we use shields, we should be okay. Or we can shield the Devastator. That would also work, I suppose. Launch orbital railgun strike right there. Man, the spear is so bad. It's still so bad. That whole situation would have gone way better if I had a fucking recoilless rifle. I mean, the spear is just like, it's really unfair, the situation it finds itself in, because it's like a direct competitor to one of the best support weapons in the game, and it just does not have the chops to keep up with it. Also, I'm sorry, D4, I think it just bombed you. No, you're okay. There's still another fucking fabricator here? That 120, 380 just did nothing to this outpost, did it? I think it's gonna be this one on the edge. Okay. Okay. The airburst rocket launcher is an occupational hazard. That's really funny. Friendly fire can still be kind of funny in this game. I think when it's like silly like that, it's fun. When it's like forced, like Eagle, like the Eagle Storm, then it sucks. But in situations like that, I think the friendly fire can be pretty funny. That was an impressive amount of things going wrong. Yeah, that'll make a good clip. Okay. Oh, somebody already did that objective. God damn. See, the FRVs, they're danger magnets. Like, there's very often no survivors to an FRV ride. Did you take out what I wanted you to take out? Hopefully. I think whenever I use the spear, I have to fight against the spear. And that might be my biggest criticism of it. It feels like a weapon I have to fight against. Like, see, like a tiny little flag and it just doesn't work as well as it should. That's a walking barrage. I mean, it's fine. Ooh. I'm trying to use fucking... What's the fucking key binding to say? Okay, there it is. I was trying to use Dark Tide bindings to say thank you. I was holding caps lock and wasn't doing anything. What is that? Oh, that's a napalm barrage. Okay. Spear is a niche against Fox engines. Yeah, I should have brought this if we were playing the Cyborgs, but... Please? Like, really? This is a little dangerous close, but I should be okay. I don't know. I think the spear should be... Like, it needs a rework. It just doesn't work as this kind of weapon. Because, like, if it's gonna do the exact same thing as the recoilless rifle, it's never gonna be that interesting, you know? Like, it should be its own, like, support weapon. Alright, yeah, taking these guys out and moving us, I think, was the fun. At least the rate of fire and the amount of ammo is not too bad these days. Compared to, what it was before. My fingers are dyslexic to arrows I struck at stratagem codes. Yeah, it takes me a long time before I actually, like, memorize and use stratagem. Okay, I really wish I had any sort of AoE in this build. It is pretty tough that I don't. This is not a good build. So I'm not contributing to much, I don't think. All my viewers to carry me, but I think maybe I should not be as lax. Maybe you should put like a little bit of effort into making a playable build. This build would be fine, I think, if I had a dynamite instead of shield grenades. I don't think the shield grenades are doing that much for me. Even if they're not a bad weapon, it's just not what this build needs. And we're not locking onto anything, just why would we? Man, calling in Eagle airstrikes on tanks feels nostalgic. That used to be the way I dealt with tanks back at launch. Oh, can I get a... Hell yeah, get his ass with that hammer. Hammer's always so cool. Oh, there's a hop on already. And we can finally get out of here. If he stops doing his stupid bullshit and clipping through his own shield. And we can keep moving. Oh, we have another supply FRV as well. I don't remember the code. Who is, oh, it's Rocket Devastator, no rockets left. Hopefully this one will go always a little bit, or we'll go a little bit. The last one. Oh, yeah, somebody already reloaded me. Take supplies A2. Take refill pack with or VA2. I think you should be able to do that, no? Maybe not. Val, you're a madman. The fucking torture, the torture loadout with the airburst rocket airburst rocket launcher on the bots. I'll call another. Don't worry. Yeah, okay, no problem. Ooh, this is gonna be a little scary, especially because I would like to grab L3. Did I Austin Powers? No, we're not Austin powered. I might have a run over L3. Yeah, this is supply FRV, no gun receipt. I'm gonna try and get to this high ground over here so I can maybe shoot some of them with the nope. I fucking love the spear. The spear's so fun. Alright, we need a better position. Yeah, you can artillery it. Yeah, this is a bad biome for both the FRV and the spear, I think. There's just a lot of obstacles. This seems like a good enough position to to get a couple shots off. But I am losing my voice rapidly. Oh, is it just gameplay with the airburst rocket launcher if it actually hits the target? Or actually gets into the fabricator vent? Okay. I figure you have pretty good odds of that. Where is the last one? Shit be blurry so I can't see anything. Is that it? No, it's a Hulk. Ah. I'm sure one of the 3 trillion barrages will get it. I'm just gonna start shooting other things. The spear is also good against bot dropships. It's actually, maybe it's only like real niche outside of oxygens. Lots of factory searches today. Not that I mind, I think they're pretty fun. Now we can move here. Valid's already on it, of course. We switch up into second gear. Seems to be the best way to go. This might go badly. Wow. I can see the future. It did go badly. Who could have seen that coming, except for me? It doesn't mean that I see the future, that I'm smart enough to avoid it. But these fucking FRVs, they pack him with explosives. Okay, let's go on another spear. Saw the vision, all good. The vision was us blowing up. That was also my vision. But by the time I processed the vision, it was too late. Okay. I think I should be safe in the garage. Over here. Yeah, not too bad. The radius is a little unpredictable sometimes, but FRV gaming this round, both times it's led to comical deaths, so good fun times with the FRV. Yeah, I'm actually right behind you with this time, Ballad. I'm being useful for the first time ever. Well, I'm not being that useful. It still takes me like 2 business days to take out 2 Hulks. Get out of my sight. There's your stuff. I'm not smart, neither am I. But you know, the point blank, I respect the point blank airburst rocket launcher. It's got aura. Holy shit. Okay, never mind. I was gonna try and throw it on that, but no skill, unfortunately. Oh, there's a compromised defenses objective that way. It's not bad for us at all, as long as I take out the cannon turrets. This thing's also good against cannon turrets, so it's not completely useless. Like, it is very possible to hit those shots with a recoilless, but it is a lot easier with the spear. Supply for being 2 minutes. I'll be fine. Maybe I should get those supplies, but it'll whatever. I don't feel like walking. Yeah, I'm actually really hungry. Maybe this is gonna be our last game. I should go eat something. Okay. The lava does not seem to do that much against this group. Oh, okay. I should have had faith in the airburst rocket launcher. Eagle airstrike was a little bit too slow on the draw. I love me a good compromised automaton defenses. Hell yeah. Love me a good pistol as well. Man, the bots on the gray background really do blend in pretty hard if you don't have you can't see their eyes glowing. Okay, I'm gonna need to. Nah, I'm not cracked with the missile pistol, unfortunately. Calling an airstrike. I'm sorry, A2. I hope that does not fuck you over. I think it might. Throw out the. Yeah, that was my bad. Should have thrown out the. What do you call it? Shield bubble pod faster. Okay, this guy's dodging my attack perfectly. But we should be okay. Resupply here. Way ahead of me, L3. Good job. And let's activate this bad boy. I think this is going to be a spam some bullshit that way time. I'm going to put down some cover for beats. Hopefully that is helpful. I think we cleared that out pretty well. We didn't really need all that. Maybe a little overkill, but no big deal either way. Come on, there we go. H U N. The N, and then the tuning fork, and then the pillar. Do not have good call out for those. You gotta go have fun. Thank you for showing up. Probably the last game. Again, I got very hungry out of nowhere. I would like to eat something. I'm also out of water, which is, of course, unacceptable. I drink all of my water. But we're almost done with the mission, so we can boost real soon after we hit some of these. Oh, thank you for the team reload. Can't wait till they actually do that change and make it so that you don't need everybody to have a backpack. I almost tried to shoot our own Pelican. Alright, but we should get the head out. Oh, this thing has a different horn. I actually did not realize that. Thought a water fountain. A water fountain? Like a fucking school water fountain? Once they have it public? That's kind of tough, actually. I would kind of like that. Like one of those like filtered fountains like in my room would actually like be sick, or at least in my kitchen. In my room might be a little too bachelor build. Yeah, it's pretty sick, actually. I didn't know you could get those. I assume they do cost quite a bit to have it installed. Oh, the bunker turrets. Yes, I love how they're disabled. It brings me so much joy. What a good side objective. Compromise automaton defenses. Not only is it something that actually affects the flow of the gameplay, but it also just, like, counters one of the most annoying units on the front at the same time. Just a W all around. Come on. There we go. All the barrages are making my computer hurt a little bit. Let's get his cannon sorted at least. I don't have a lock on him. Yeah, unfortunately it's not locking onto him. Oh, now it is. There we go. We just need one anyway. Oh shit. That's a lot of damage. Is there a tank or something? Oh yeah, there is. Oh, I'm out of shit. There we go. And we are done. Incredibly chaotic mission, but quite a good time. It was the good kind of chaos. Where I feel like I didn't get ragdoll spammed as hard as usual. Supply pack would be nice. Where did I leave my supply effort? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Extraction is available. Yeah, it's just not worth using the turret in a team setting, because you do need all the supplies. I feel like having a supply FRV on every team is like usually a good call. Oh yeah, we gotta hit this thing as well. I can actually see that. For that sweet 100%. Uh-oh. Kind of surprised we did not slip and slide our way down and hit a dune. Is that a... Oh, we completed that one, I think. I mean, that's gonna work. Maybe. That's gonna work. And now we can extract for real. Avoid the landmines and try not to kill the whole team. Maybe just hurt the team a little bit and kill Valid. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, how did he die? Man, the supply FRV is fun, but it's still got the FRV shank. All the other FRVs, one tiny pebble, and that's a team wipe. But we got it. We got to the destination. You know, that's what matters. Some bullshit, and we should be good to go. I don't even realize there was a Seaper artillery site this mission. I'm pretty tuned out. Okay. Oh, and we're close to the edge of the map, so I don't think it's gonna send anybody. Or it might not. That's a shame. Yeah.
ETA T-minus 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Well, that is, that's unfortunate. Oh, no, it's sending a little bit. It is sending enemies. Okay. Wait, hold on. Do we have another? No, we don't. No, it's the fucking... It's the turret that keeps killing people. That thing is like an active detriment, actually. I've changed my mind on the turret. It's not just bad, it's actively bad. Oh my god. I'm not even sure how that killed me that hard. I think the rockets ragdolled me into terrain and the impact damage killed me. That was crazy. Crazy amount of damage. Gonna eat the last... Oh no, I already ate. Ooh. Why is there a Helldiver inside the fucking resupply rack? What is he doing in there? I didn't even know that was possible. Look, there's a guy in there. Maybe just on the stream, but that's funny. Alright, I guess we can just ping him out some spear shots. Alright, I forgot we can climb on these again after the long saga. Okay, where's the dropships coming? Go. Wait for it to stand a little bit more still. No, the fucking spear missed. Okay. Two factory striders. Okay. Please lock onto the fucking turret. 3 factory striders. Okay. We need. I need to do the count impression. I think this time actually not overkill the amount of shit we can throw in that way. Oh, I'm stuck. Is there another game after this one? No, probably not. I'm very hungry. I should go actually eat something. Ooh, my frame rate. Oh, my frame rate. Look the other way. Oh, my room's rising in temperature by 100 degrees. Yeah, I'll try and get you next time. I'll probably stream again. Probably stream Helldivers 2 again on Tuesday night, and then we can just do a couple more viewer games because these are fun. I actually enjoy these more than playing solo at this point because I like the sweatiness of playing solo and actually having to care about builds. But I don't know. I feel I don't care about Helldivers 2 enough to be like sweaty anymore. Like if Rapid Acquisition like came out today, I would not have bothered like spending multiple hours figuring out how to do it solo. I just don't care. I just don't care that much anymore, which is sad, but it's true. So these are fun to stream. I still do like the game solo probably more overall, but in terms of viewer streams every so often, I think it's a fun treat. Something super Earth. Yeah, that's how I act when I'm expected to LARP. But I feel like I avoid situations where I'm expected to LARP as much as I can because I don't like it. Would not catch me doing the super Earth salute. But that was a good stream. I'm still fucking waiting for the TCS missions to come back. These kind of feel like a little bit like filler, but at least they're contributing to a not filler MO. So I don't know. I guess they can't make every step super interesting. Yeah, I was not being good that round, but of course everybody gets their hug before leaving. And then that will be the end of the stream.
Allied destroyer has left squadron.
And one last hug. Alright, well, thank you everybody for showing up, both viewers and people who have played the game, who played the game with me. It was a good time, but I think I'm going to be heading out just because, again, I got to eat something and I got a bunch of shit to do today, just a bunch of chores. So, thank you all for showing up. I hope I will see you all in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed. So, take care, guys.